Okay, you're welcome to VINDAL'S concept. Everyday arithmetics or business maths, and some people can call it commercial maths, depend on what you see and how your textbook listed it. But one thing I want you to know is that this question is a word problem. It's every day that happens around us, and they are coining it into a question. It's an application question. And if you look at the questions Waec has been bringing for the past 6 years, it has been more of application. And that is why this channel, we've taken it on our own to be bringing solutions or review of the past questions. And the question reads, Lamina bought a book for 300 and sold it to Bola at a profit of X%. Bola then bought the same book to James at a profit of X%. If James paid 6x plus 3 over 4 more for a book than what Lamina paid, find the value of x. If you look at this, it's very mental drilling, but we are going to take one step at a time and then we arrive at our solution. Don't bother yourself about the whole talk and everything, but let me start with this simple illustration. And I'm going to be using this color. I think I like this color more than other ones. But please remember, you can't leave this channel without subscribing and hitting the like button, sharing. Anyhow you can support us, that will be very welcome. All right, I'm going to start by saying Lamina bought a book for 300 naira. Therefore, I'm going to say that Lamina. Okay, Lamina's cost, Lamina's cost price. Any amount you buy something is called cost price. So that is amount bought a book. So that is his cost price. And the cost price is 300 naira. Okay. But then if Lamina has a cost price, he should have a selling price. I do not know what his selling price is. So I'm going to say Lamina, Lamina's selling price, Lamina's selling price. I do not know the Lamina's selling price. So I'm going to call it Y. All right, now remember something. Before I move further, I want to bring to your notice what they mean by profit. And then his profit, Lamina's profit, is just X%. All right, now that means because the profit has been called in today's question, we are going to consider what we call profit percent and loss percent. But since this question is not interested in loss, we're just going to consider the profit percent. And considering the formula of profit percent, profit is something as profit. Let's assume profit is X over 100 is going to be equal to, selling price. Oh, let me use yellow. Yellow will be fine. Selling price minus cost price. Do you know why? Because if you sell a goods or a commodity more than what you bought it, then you're making profit. And this is going to be divided by cost price. Let me use CP as cost price. Then this is the formula. This thing gets confusing sometimes. It's either you write it X over 100 is equal to selling price minus cost price over cost price, or if you don't want to write 100 now, so you can also write it this way. I want to bring to your notice, you can also put, let me remove 100 here. If you remove it here, you know what happens. So it means you're going to multiply, this side is going to be multiplied by 100. So this is another way of writing it, okay? So Lamina's profit is going to be his selling price minus his cost price. Now in this case, remember, I do not know his selling price. I'm calling it Y. Therefore, I'm going to say that according to Lamina, it's going to be SL. I'm calling SL. That means selling price for Lamina is minus, oh sorry, I've already called it Y, so I don't want to complicate matters. I'm going to continue using Y because I've already called it Y. I don't want all this disturbance and too much of use of variables. So S is going to be selling price. Lamina selling price is Y minus Lamina's cost price, which is 300. Now, all over what? 300. Then everything is going to do what? It's going to multiply by 100 because that is what profit is all about. Now, if you have this, you know that these two zeros has to cancel these three zeros. And this implies that x is going to be equal to y minus 300 over 3. All right. So let me make y the subject formula. So if I clear the fraction, I'm going to, let me finish it here. I'm going to tidy up the screen. But then this is going to be 3x is equal to y minus 300. Therefore, y, don't do that. Therefore, y is equal to 3x plus 300. So this is the value for the cost price of Lamina. So let me clean the screen, please. If you are copying, you can copy it down before I move to the next. I have to clean everything here. All right. Okay, so let's take it slow and steady, but we have to obey the principle. So from this y, which is the cost price, the selling price of Lamina is going to be equal to 3x plus 300. Okay, let me keep this as equation 1. All right, so let's go to the next statement. I'm going here now. I'm going into this next statement. Okay, look at the next statement. Bola sold to James. Look at this. Now, remember something. Bola bought from Lamina. That means if Lamina sold to Bola, that means Lamina selling price, which is y, must be equal to Bola cost price. Consider that I do not know Bola's cost price. But if Bola is buying from you, if I sell Y, that means Bola bought Y. If that Y is 500, that means Bola bought 500. Therefore, Lamina's selling price, which is Y, is equal to Bola's cost price. So that statement must be there. Therefore, let's go to Bola and look at what happened. So I'm considering Bola right now. So what happened? Bola then sold the same book to James at a profit of C. So Bola made a profit of X. Okay. So this is the same price. That means Bola also has to sell to make a profit of X, which is the same amount that Lamina made. So I'm going to say the profit that Bola made is X, right? Is equal to. Do I know the selling price of Bola? I do not know. I do not know his selling price. So I'm going to just say selling price for Bola, okay? Minus Bola's cost price. What is Bola's cost price? Remember, Bola's cost price is equal to Y because he bought from Lamina. And what is Y? Y is given as 3x plus 3. So instead of writing Bola's cost price here, I'm going to write 3x plus 300. Please, you must be very careful to cover this in brackets. If you do not cover it in bracket, this minus can only affect 3x and it will not affect 300. But covering it in bracket, it means the minus is going to affect all of them. All divide by what? Cost price, and cost price is same thing as 3x plus 300. This is cost price. Now, this is my equation 2. Now, let's keep going. But at this point, there is another man, James. James. James did not make a profit. They didn't tell us the profit that James made, but there is something they said. If James paid, for you to pay, what does that mean? That means it's amount you use for buying. So who is he buying from? He's buying from Bola. Now, James' cost price is going to be what? Bola selling price. And I have not determined Bola's selling price. So this is that Bola selling price, which I have not found. So I'm going to find it. So what is Bola's selling price? Look at it. It said, if James bought from Bola. 6x plus 3 over 4 more than what Lamina paid. How much did Lamina pay? Lamina paid 300. Therefore, see, James cost price is going to be what? 6, oh, come on, don't act up. 6x plus 3 over 4. This is what James cost. But this is not enough. They say more. Look at this more. More is plus. More of what? More of what? Of Lamina paid. Lamina's paid is cost price, which is 300. So it's going to be this. So this is the amount that James paid. And this amount that James paid is sent as the selling price of Bola, and which is SB. So what am I going to do? Let me write it there. So SB is going to be equal to 6. Don't act up. Oh no. Okay. So I'm going to say that. So I'm going to say that 6x plus 3 over 4, everything plus 300. Okay, so this is Bola selling price. So I'm going to rewrite this by putting this value as Bola selling price. So I'm going to clean this part as well. Now, see, I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say that x is equal to, so this is the money, 6x plus 3 over 4 plus 300, then minus 3x plus 300, then everything is equal to 3x plus 300. Now, this is the equation I have to work with. And because this is the second equation, so let me call it equation 2. Now, remember what happened. I have already done my substitution. In equation 1, I carried this and put here. So, I'm sure you know what I did from that part. So, what I'm going to do is to clear the fraction. What I'm going to do is to clear the fraction and tidy up the equation. Okay, let's do that immediately. ASAP. Okay, so I'm having, okay, let me tidy this part up. Okay, so how can I just simplify this thing without complicating? I don't want to complicate it. Okay, but let's just try our best, make it simple. So what I'm going to do is to first clear this side. I'm going to have this 4. This 4. This 4 is going to multiply. So we just multiply this. Everything here, 3x plus 300, we multiply this x. So I'm going to have 3x squared, of course. So x times this is 3x squared, then plus 3x times 300 is going to be 300x. And this is going to be equal to. Now I'm also going to clear this part. 4 times 6 is going to be, oh, there is something I'm forgetting. Remember, I must multiply everything by 100. That I must multiply everything by 100. Okay, so, and I'm going to have that 100 times 600, which is going 100 times 6x, which is going to be 600x, plus 100 times 3 over 4, which is going to be 75. Now, because 4 divided 100 is 25. 25 times 3 is 75. Then plus 100 times 300 is going to be 3,000. No, 30,000. Yes, 300. Yes. Then this minus 2. This is going to be minus 100 times 3x is going to be minus 300x, minus 100 times this 300 is going to be 30,000. So if you check this very well, you realize that they are cancelling each other. So let me show you what is cancelling each other. Now, if you look at this very well, this is canceling each other. Canceling, just what I mean is, yes, of course, they are canceling each other. Plus 30,000 minus 30,000 is canceling, so it's zero. So the next thing is 600 minus 600 is 300. So I'm going to have 3x squared plus 300x is equal to 300x plus 75 right now, because this one minus this one, then it's going to be 300. So even at this point too, 300 is also canceling this one minus this one is zero. So I will have, so I'm having 3x squared is equal to 75. All right, so I will divide both sides by 3. So x squared is equal to 25. And then this implies that x is equal to plus or minus square root of 25. And then x is equal to plus 5 or minus 5. Remember that x is going to be plus 5% because it can't be minus, because it's a promise, is a profit. So that is why it's going to be. Thank you so much for this class. If you watched to this end, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and subscribe. Very important. Bye.